Plants are healthy, right? Spinach, almonds, flax seeds. But what if I told you those same health foods can poison you, land you in the hospital, and in some cases, even kill you? Let's break down the myth that the dose makes the poison when it comes to plant toxins. Spinach is one of the highest oxalate foods out there. Just half a cup cooked can flood your system with oxalates. These are compounds that bind calcium, form crystals, and contribute to kidney stones, joint pain, and fatigue, and a lot of other issues in terms of storing in our bones and our joints and creating a lot of inflammation. Actor Liam Hemsworth, remember that story about him being hospitalized from spinach smoothies and reportedly quitting his vegan diet? He's not the only one. A simple Google or ChatGPT inquiry about oxalates in spinach tells you all you need to know if you truly value your long-term health. Now, a reminder, I'm not a doctor or a scientist. I am a strong researcher, however, and you can refer to my research data at citations.lowertoxiclife.com. I'll link some of the expert doctors and researchers who I follow at the end of the video. Let's talk also about almonds and flax. Almonds, a handful a day can push you into oxalate overload. Flax seeds, just 6 to 7 servings in one day can hit dangerous cyanide levels. What's a serving? That's a great question because most of the time we don't really know how that's being measured. It's very often not defined. But here's what I found. Here's an example. The European Food Safety Authority, or EFSA, warns that eating 50 grams or more of flaxseed in one sitting could release enough cyanide to cause symptoms like nausea, headaches, or even worse, and especially if they're eaten raw and not heat treated. So in this case, 1 tablespoon is equal to a serving. So 1 to 2 tablespoons, that's 7 to 14 grams. That would be what most people call a normal safe serving. 6 to 7 tablespoons or 42 to 49 grams, that therapeutic dose that's often pushed online in some of our superfood recipes and smoothies and chia puddings and a lot of that type stuff, that can put us at high risk. Now, you have to figure out for yourself, what else are you eating on a daily basis that could add to those cyanide levels? Next up is apple seeds. If you add apple seeds into a smoothie, researchers found measurable cyanide in apple seeds. That's not really a health food. That's playing Russian roulette, or rather seed roulette. Do you ever just toss a whole apple into your own smoothie, or maybe cut it and not pay that much attention to what's going into it because you know your ninja's going to grind it all up? Do you know what Jamba Juice, Nectar, or other smoothie makers are doing with apple seeds? How do you know what's being added and what isn't? Next, let's talk about an alternative flour, cassava, a staple food in parts of Africa and South America. It's the main staple for over 750 million people in the tropics. And if it's eaten without proper prep, the cyanide can literally kill you. This isn't rare, it's real. People die every year from cassava poisoning. Low-grade exposure to cyanide over time can cause very serious organ dysfunction, thyroid dysfunction, as it blocks iodine from coming into your thyroid. Now, speaking of alternative flours, I already mentioned almonds, and I know for me, almond flour was one that became a critical issue for me because I was using almond flour as a substitute for everything that I wanted to replace gluten flour with, all my fun paleo muffins and my flatbreads and all of that. Now, next up, the dose myth and hormesis. Now, the comeback is often, yeah, but it's the dose that makes the poison. Okay, so what is the safe dose of oxalates, of lectins, of cyanide? Show me the chart. I mean it. Show me the chart. I went searching for it, and guess what? It doesn't exist. Hormesis, this is the concept in biology where a low dose of a substance or stressor can have beneficial effects, while higher doses can be harmful. It is based on the principle that moderate challenges to our body and our physiology can stimulate adaptive responses in organisms. And this is known to enhance our resilience and our health. Sure, some stressors do make us stronger, like exercise, cold plunging, fasting. But toxins like cyanide or oxalates, how much is the perfect healthy dose? Nobody can actually tell you. So again, where's the chart? So let's do a reality check. Plants don't just have one toxin, they have thousands of toxins, and you're supposed to believe they all magically balance out into a perfect hormetic dose. That's not science, that's marketing. That's big food marketing and someone else's marketing agenda. So yes, the dose makes the poison, but unless you know the exact dose of every toxin in every plant food, you're not making an informed choice. You're just gambling with your health. So if this blew your mind, hit like, share it with someone still blending those spinach smoothies, and subscribe for more truth about food and health. I'm Jackie Ulmer. Grab my guide at lowertoxiclife.com and get my simple grocery list to eliminate oxalates and cyanide from your diet.